Hello and welcome to The Relevance of Now with William Linville. My name is Michael Connell. Hi, William.
Hi, Michael. How are you, my good friend?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome. On today's podcast, we're going to talk about relationships and boundaries may be complementary. That there may be events, family events, other events where we are feeling a lot of emotions and getting triggered about being there and going there, or it might be related to individuals. And what we specifically want to tune into as we're sitting here as an individual is sitting with individual emotions. It could be, I don't want to go. I'd feel guilty if I do go. I'm just going to be angry if I go, whatever the case may be. Are there situations where the boundaries would be helpful?
Yes.
What are some examples of that?
Well, it's always about being true to yourself, Michael. So, like your partner may want to go do this, go that, go shopping, or do errands, or go to an in-law's house, or to go out to a meal with friends or otherwise, and you may feel not up for it, or it may not call to you. And those are times that you definitely want to be true to yourself because otherwise frustration builds, resentments build, and otherwise. And it's where you say thank you, but no thank you. I mean, you really honestly wish them to have a great time, but you're being true to yourself at the same time by saying thank you, but no thank you. Or they may want to include you to do this or do that, and it may not call to you. And it's where you say thank you, but no thank you because you're being true to yourself.
What if the other person is pushing back on that? Beyond just saying thank you or no thank you, that might not be acceptable for them.
Well, it's where you stop, you take a breath, and you share how you feel, and you ask for what you want, and you stand with that, and you honor your boundaries. Your boundaries are sharing how you feel and asking for what you want. And you're not trying to get their approval, but you are being true to yourself.
You're sharing from your heart what's important to you at that time.
Exactly. Because then when you're in your heart, they may not always agree with you, but they're going to hear you because you're not coming from a combative state. You're coming from an open-hearted state, and they're going to feel that. Because if you come from a combative state, that leads them to come from a combative state. And that's where the communication goes out the window. Because that's where you have the egos locking horns just by the energy that it emits. And it becomes very harsh.
I was reflecting on how some people who give themselves away might need boundaries because at their state of consciousness right now, they have anger about giving themselves away and just a repetitive pattern, and you were, as you were saying, resentment or other things. Then it's complementary for the individual to break that pattern. And then there's other situations where people's nervous system can't take it anymore.
Exactly.
And it just creates inside of us individual emotions if we just keep doing these things.
Yes, because you become drained and then you become vulnerable, and automatically that leads to acting out. And the acting out comes from you trying to subpsychically trying to claim your space and trying to regain your energy back. It's a subconscious act that leads to reactions. It's a survival mentality that is not from the conscious mind. It's a subconscious survival mechanism.
And when we see that our ego has these challenges, these judgments, these experiences that don't feel good in the body. And that's the indication that we may need boundaries temporarily.
Yes, especially as you're learning how to be true to yourself.
So let's talk about that transition because we all go through it. We all have our judgments, we all have our guilt, we all the different emotions. And we're talking right now about giving ourselves a break and expressing ourselves. My hardest part about expressing myself was I was always thinking about what the other person was thinking, trying to predict it and trying to make them happy. But in my transition from that, which is still a transition, the first step is expressing myself and saying that's not complimentary for me right now. So the next step I would be experiencing is processing the emotion because I no longer wanted the thinking impacting my nervous system. I no longer wanted to be controlled by emotions and not be able to express myself freely without the emotion.
Exactly.
And so, how best do you assist people in handling that transition?
By having them practice feeling, like bringing their consciousness through their heart, feeling their presence and the consciousness in their heart, even if it's just putting their hand on their heart, feeling what it feels like in their heart space, feeling the warmth, feeling the isness in their heart, bypassing the mind. So it's basically focusing your eyes towards your third eye, just feeling the energy and the consciousness within their heart, where all the emotions really just fall away, where they just start to feel the presence within their heart arising. And then from there, starting to open up to where they can start to have clarity again, rather than the bombardment of emotions, where they can start to receive the clarity of what's going on, rather than being hijacked by the ego. Taking a few nice, slow, deep breaths in through their nose, all the way down through the solar plexus, and then a few deep sighs, where they can start to feel their presence coming forward. And then relook at the dynamic or the situation going on with clarity, rather than being all wound up and tied up by the tight stomach, by the locked jaws, by the tightness in their body, where they're no longer in the midst or the middle of the battle, the struggles that they're locked up into, where they can see it with observation and clarity now, rather than being confined and feeling trapped.
And I know also when people have been in that state that you just walked us through, that sometimes memories come up.
Yes, especially memories of the first time that they ever felt that way or ever experienced those emotions. And those memories are coming up for them to resolve those situations to where they never experience those emotions again. Because it's letting go of the cause, the cord, the record, and the effect of when they first decided that this is how they react in those situations.
Yeah, those the first time that the seed that created the wiring of their consciousness to protect themselves at all costs from that situation again.
Exactly. And what was taught of how to react when this happens, that happens, that happens, the lights come on, and this is how I react. Well, that becomes a clear slate to where now, when this happens, that happens, that happens, They don't have that reaction anymore, but they have freedom now.
I love that image of, well, now I have an image of a part of me that had its consciousness blocked, its loving, joyful expression blocked. And there's always an opportunity to go back to that memory, that moment, and see it from a higher state of consciousness that you weren't in at that time. And then, poof, your consciousness, your brain, your subconscious, unconscious, whatever, all of it no longer has to protect.
Exactly. Or be on guard or be on edge or have all these boundary walls just in case. Because that takes a lot of energy.
Yes, it does. A lot of energy, a lot of unhappiness, being unfulfilled, not being able to be the full expression of yourself.
Absolutely.
And you've shared that this process that we go through of getting back to our true self, of marrying our higher self, there is a process where right now we're just unconsciously thinking. We have all these thoughts and they're controlling us. And then we start to become aware that we don't want to be that way anymore. So we explore and experience ways that we're talking about here, that you've been talking about and giving people assistance with, as many others do, to explore why you're being controlled.
Exactly.
And you walk through these experiences, teachings, methodologies, whatever practices to assist you to see the truth about why you're being controlled.
Exactly. And what's controlling you?
And then all of a sudden, when these things controlling us are poof, we start to feel. And then what we're really feeling, we are feeling our true self.
Yes.
And as we experience that more and more, it becomes easier and easier.
And more fluid and more natural.
And we're really marrying our higher and lower selves throughout our days, throughout our experiences in life. And is that the point where we're really starting to embody our true self?
Yes.
And I'm reflecting on how you've shared that you never can go back. And thinking of the poof, it's like poof, poof, then it's gone. Those energies that controlled us are gone. And so why would we ever misperceive events?
Exactly, buddy. And then you welcome back all your energy, all your power, all your soul fragmentations back to yourself, cleared and purified. Welcoming them back into your heart, into your solar plexus, cleared and purified to where you're not feeling fragmented or scattered any longer, and where you feel more whole within yourself.
Yeah. From your teaching, I almost always, in an experience that we were just talking about, in re-perceiving a situation from higher level awareness that I didn't have it previously, I also just imagine like the cells of my body is like just commanding them to go back to creator consciousness, to be their true self. And so it is spoken, so it is done.
Exactly, and so it is.
Wow. Thank you, William. This is fantastic.
Absolutely, buddy. Always, always.
Thank you all for joining us. This is The Relevance of Now with William Linville. Please click subscribe and join us next time. Namaste.
Namaste.